Bravehearts, Urbanites, and Coach Mac Hatters. Hi, it is Monday, August 9th, 9:04 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I often say, regardless of what's going on, it is a great place to be in Washington, D.C. It really is. Um, the quality of people, the good, the bad, and the urban ugly, is still unique. It's still in its own flavor. It's something, quite something. So, real quick, stop by to talk to you about this amazing thing that's going on in the backyard. Um, so my dad is, and I know I've mentioned this a couple of times before. So my dad feeds the birds. He upkeeps, um, which I know it's all about his to fulfill his natural attraction to nature. He's a Taurus, so if we were to identify him in tarot, he would be considered a king of pentacles. He loves the earth and nature, and he has this green thumb that is out of this world. So there's this block of, it looks like a granola block to me, but it's big. It, yeah, there we go. It's about this big, and so it has kernels of corn and um, I want to say black seed, and it has different, but it's stuck together like a granola, and so he puts that out there for the squirrels. Now there are corn stalks that are growing up in this yard and the yard next door. I thought my dad had planted them because he also grows tomatoes and his greenery is just on fleek. So I was thinking, okay, dad planted corn, but it still seemed weird because I'm like, stalks of corn get huge. They get tall and grow all out and they just like to spread out. So it seemed a little weird, but not, totally out of character. But I'm talking to my little sister. She's like, nah, the squirrels did that. The squirrels did that as a result of the blocks that the squirrels, and so when they chip off whatever it is that they carry around the yard that gets left, somehow gets planted, and so now we have stalks. We have corn stalks. So as a result, this is where we are, and it is so delightful. It's such a delightful thing. And of course, I plucked it prematurely, mainly, like I just told my dad, curious, just completely in awe with the happenstance, which seemingly feels like there was no direct human involvement. Now, the indirect is my dad bought the bars that ultimately fed the squirrels that ended up cross pollinating, and now we have this. Um, Now, I'm not really sure if it can be eaten by a human, mainly because it was grown from the processed kernel that is being used to feed the wildlife. Not sure yet. But what I do know is that it is still in the natural progression and evolution of nature. And it smells so good. It smells so good. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And everything is just as fur, and it's all in its natural. You can feel it. You can tell from the texture that it is. Now the quality of it, that remains to be seen, but it still is. So I mainly wanted to get up here and make the point because I have been studying the cross pollination of human interaction through authentic conversation, and how in conversation, things get planted into our psyche, into our subconscious, even into our conscious awareness, and into all of that that is unfolding and blending, and then sprouts anew. A lot of us around these days and times like to call it the shifting of paradigms, or just the raw consciousness of it all. But what about the cross pollination of consciousness? Meaning, I wasn't necessarily thinking about it until you said it, but now that you said that, it now begins to clink into everything else that I was on. Clink, 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 and it all clink, 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 and it all activates. It does this wonderful slide some oil to me type of thing. It's phenomenon. It's gracious. It really is gracious to those whom are paying attention to how their conversations with those whom they value are sprouting to life. New knowledge. I don't even know if I would call it new knowledge. Maybe activating that which was dormant, maybe. I'm not sure right now. Things are still unfolding, and so I'm still like trying to figure all of it out, because no matter how many lectures I listen to or how many classes I sit in, it's still not going to be mine until it absorbs in mine. So that's all I wanted to stop by and say. Um, I do have a Lionsgate cross threshold segment coming up. Um, because what I noticed is that anyone who's talking about it, they will either talk about it prior to, but then they never talk about how it is involving them per se. Most of the time, when I am sitting before an energetic read, or a lecture surrounding the energy grids that we are involved in, it always seems to be speaking to the outer realms of the experience. Hardly ever does anyone share what it is doing to them, or how it is involving them, or what it is that they are learning as a result of it. So I'm contemplating this first person narrative. Um, and so we'll see how it goes. But I will say, um, of course, you know I had to pull cards. So the two cards that popped out yesterday when I began to meditate and begin to prepare for this segment. So summer, which is this one, summer. I'm not sure if you can like really, really, truly see. I'm not sure. There we go. Maybe. Uh, Maybe not. So summer, um, bask in joy and light. Bask in joy and light. And it baffled me for a good moment when this popped out, because, as I said, I've been tracking the energies of this thing called cross pollination and conversations. This was the first card out, and I was just, and not that I do not believe in the energies and how they show up for me to communicate with me through the cards. It's just beginning to be amazing with how deep these communications are beginning to be. So then it's Water Guardian. Connect with your emotions. I will say all summer, I have been coming in contact with those that will call me overly emotional, when in my mind I'd be figuring that they're not emotional enough. And I know that it's all by divine situation, because we're cross pollinating. We're cross pollinating. And it has nothing to do with if the conversation makes you happy or not, or if you will deem it positive or negative. Ain't got shit to do with that. It is what it is because it is. So cross pollination through conversation is taking place. And some things just need to be planted. They need to be incubated, cultivated, and given a chance to grow. And so, yeah. Ow, ow. That's my coffee. Sorry. Might as well go ahead and sip on it. So, I think that's it for now. That's it for now. Um, so, but it feels like I want to say something else, but I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it. So stay tuned. The segment is coming soon, I would suppose, but it really do depend on how things unfold. So I'll say I'm looking forward to preparing to do this series, but I can't really say when it's going to post or if in fact it's going to. But this is where I'm being led. Uh, the unfolding of this may just be for my awareness only, because I am. Uh, Also noticing that I am being challenged to what it is I'm uploading and putting into the public domain, which has always been. I've said that many times with quite a bit of recordings that I've posted. So I'm still in that vibe of making sure that I understand when to upload and when not to upload, to be or not to be. All right, take care of yourself.